right, y'all. We're gonna see what this REEVU helmet is like. Let's get it in, baby. Definitely want to say the helmet is pretty awesome. It takes a little getting used to riding with it and being able to you know that there's a mirror there, because I kept tilting my head up or tilting it down to look up, and I didn't have to do that. All I had to do was just look up. So that takes a little getting used to. But so far so good. Airflow is good. Right now I can see the cars behind me, and I don't think this is a glass that's inside of here for a real mirror. I think it's more of like a reflective tape type situation. I could be wrong, but you know, it's not like a mirror. So I think if you would have an accident in this, you wouldn't have to worry about like glass or anything like that flying into your face. Alright guys, it's working really well. Like I said, this helmet is, I'm liking it more and more. The more I ride with it, the more I like it. Definitely use my mirrors a lot less. Well, you guys, I can say right now, I like the REEVU helmet. It's definitely pretty awesome. Takes a little getting used to having a rear view mirror in your helmet, but you know, I think the hardest part for me is I keep tilting my head down and looking up, thinking I have to do that, but all you have to do is raise your eyes slightly and you can see what's behind you. So this is a really good helmet. So I'm liking it so far, so I don't know how I'm gonna go back to conventional riding without a helmet like this. So Brother Joey, I may be having to try to keep this for longer than a week, brother. few things I do like about the helmet. There's a lot of things I actually do like about the helmet. First is the rear view vision. Makes objects appear a little bit closer than what they really are. So for you, it kind of depends on what works best for you. I mean, for me, that's pretty cool because then, you know, that kind of eliminates the whole, well, how much room do I have? If it like it's close, then, you know, you can make better decisions, I think, that way, as opposed to if it looks like it's far back, it's actually a lot closer than what it is. I just had another motorcyclist behind me, so you know, I got in front of him and I just want to see how far back he looked from the actual mirrors and from the helmet, and he actually looked a lot closer than what he was from the actual mirrors. And then when I actually glanced and looked back myself, he was back a lot further than what the REEVU helmet showed. I would say the conventional mirrors are a lot more accurate as far as distance from an object, but on the other hand, like I said, if it's closer, then that gives you a little more room to judge whether you should get out the way, speed up, or what have you. I think this helmet will be really good, not just for track instructors, but also for group riding. You know, if you have a person in the front of the group that's, you know, they don't have to keep constantly looking in their mirrors or turning around to look to see who's behind them. I think this helmet would be good for group riding, especially if you're someone leading the group, or if, let's say there's we'll say if it's for 5 riders, you know, the person leading the group, this would be a perfect helmet to keep a track of everybody being behind you. As I continue to ride with it, something else I noticed is that I'm starting to less and less look up like this to see what's behind me. I'm starting to now let it be more of a peripheral vision type thing. And when I do it that way, you can't see exactly what's behind you, but you know that there's something there other than the pavement. So I think as you get used to riding with it, and, you know, at first, you know, initially with anything, you start off constantly trying to look and see and make sure it works. But then once you get a little more comfortable with it, I think you stop doing less and less of that. The other thing is when you want to see your blind spots, you know, you have to look the opposite direction of what you're trying to see. So like, let's say if your blind spot is on the left, then you have to turn your head right to see the blind spot, and then vice versa. If you have to, you know, on the right, you have to turn your head right or left in order to see the right side. So that could take a little bit of getting used to. Y2 Wheels in the house. Well, you guys, I just finished the final little test with the REEVU helmet, and man, it's dark outside, so as you can see, it's dark outside. So bike is chilling and resting. So you know, and there's the helmet right there. So yeah, just finished a nice little night run. Had to get some food. So yeah, it was awesome. I mean, man, I was very surprised at how well the, you know, helmet works at night. I mean, it's not too much different than your conventional, you know, helmet, to be honest. I mean, your conventional mirrors. It's still hard to tell what's behind you, you know, at nighttime. But I can definitely tell you that you can see out of it at night. Something that I forgot to bring up yesterday was there's a little piece that goes right here. And from what the sales rep told me this, so this isn't me making something up. This is what the sales rep told me. So bottom line is there's a little piece that goes here, and that piece is kind of fragile. So you may have to use glue or something, or just pull it off like he has it pulled off here. But that's the only downside so far I can say about this helmet. I'm gonna try to see if I can get this GoPro inside of the helmet so you can maybe see at least the light behind you and not just my hands. So let's see. All right, so maybe you can see the light behind you. Maybe you can't, maybe you can, I don't know. I'm just trying to make it work if I can. Maybe I can't, so I'm not gonna sit here and play with it for too long. But like I said, it's a really good helmet. I would suggest purchasing one. And as I rode with it for the majority of the day, I can say by the end of the day, it got to a point. It got to a point to where, as I was riding with it, that I didn't have to keep, looking up so much. It was kind of more peripheral at a certain point. Also, just trying to think of something else here that I can that comes to mind. Aside from the closeness, I mean, and the other thing too, you kind of got to get used to is when you first start riding with it on, you keep trying to tilt your head forward and lift your eyes up, and that doesn't help you because as you lift your head down, then what happens is the mechanism that's here for you to see out of, you're shooting more towards the sky. So even though you tilt your head down, you just see up higher. So the mirror itself doesn't move. It's in there pretty tight. So even though, and I went on a couple of bumpy roads too, so it didn't move, it didn't shift. The helmet was a little loose because it's not exactly my size, but the helmet moved, but the mirror itself stayed in place. So if you do purchase one of these, make sure you get as close to your proper helmet size as possible. Make sure you reach out to brother Joey Escobar for these helmets, because I ain't gonna lie, it's an awesome helmet. I can tell you seriously, I would definitely like to add this to my helmet collection. It'd be a perfect, I would use it strictly for myself. I would use it for when I'm doing a group ride, because it really does help to be able to see who's behind you in a group ride. And a lot of times when we're on group rides, a lot of times I'm leading, so that would be the perfect ideal helmet for a group ride. I still love my KBC, I still love my AGV, so I'm not ready to trade those in yet, but this is I think this is a really good helmet to add to your collection if you like having more than one or two helmets. Also, I think that if you don't have a helmet and you want one, I think this is a good helmet to start with as well. I mean, the price is right, $400 to $600. They got different windscreens. They got different colors that it comes in, like 4 different colors. And then also, from what I've been told, the shipping takes somewhere around 5 to 7 business days. So that's not too bad. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you got to wait a month or 2 months for your helmet to show up. So, like I said, reach out to brother Joey Escobar. I'm going to have it for a couple of more days, but I don't think I need to do any more videos on it because I got it all in today. Traffic, did good in traffic. It did good in, splitting lanes. I was able to see everything. I was able to, look slightly left, slightly right to, compensate for the blind spots. Rode tonight with a few riders behind me, and I was able to see their headlights. Couldn't tell what it was. There were cars behind me. I couldn't tell what they were, but even in my conventional mirrors, unless you're right up on me, I still can't tell what kind of car it is. I can just tell that it's headlights and it's a car, or if it's a bike. So, so I have no complaints with the REEVU helmet at all. I would definitely suggest getting one. I would definitely suggest reaching out to brother Joey Escobar and getting hooked up. So I'll make sure his phone number and his contact information will be somewhere on the video. If not, look in the description box. It'll be in the description box. And I mean, that's really all I got to say. So, wonderful helmet. Make sure you give Joey Escobar a call to get your REEVU helmet.